Jonah Hill is a name that maybe I was expecting to pop up, because if you listen to our Batman Fancast, I cast him as the Penguin. And so there's rumors that it came out Classic Hollywood and breaking that he was up for a secretive role. And then someone, well, he's playing the villain. And then someone, it might be the Penguin. Someone went, no, it's probably the Riddler. And then there's reports like Warner Brothers doesn't even know which route they're going. So I'm going to ask you, what do you guys think about Jonah Hill playing a villain? And what would you rather have, Penguin or Riddler?
Penguin, I would have to go with. It's weird saying it, but I feel like he's kind of got the Penguin look.
He has slimmed down quite a bit, but he still has, I agree with you, a face.
Well, he's also gone through like stages of like what was that one? Is it War Dogs, where you like actually totally like thickened up for that role? Like he can totally, not too extreme.
Thick.
Yeah. I was gonna say like not quite extreme route like what Christian Bale does to his body, but like he's shown that he can, like I feel like some people would just refuse to be like, no, I'm not fucking putting my body through that torture. But
well, and even then, like I'm cutting off a little bit, but for me with Jonah Hill, and I'm showing my cards too, and I'll talk more about it in a second. I want Penguin as well, but it's not because I've seen so many people like, oh, just because he's an overweight guy. I don't think he doesn't even have to put on weight.
Yeah.
If he's like, I'm gonna be a skinny Penguin, fine, then just be a skinny Penguin. I just think his aura and his presence would fit, especially something like War Dogs. It just fits Penguin so well, where I feel like when I look at the two choices, I go, and that's why I picked him in Fancast, he would make a perfect Penguin, where I think he could make a really good Riddler, but I think there's other actors who could make great Riddlers where I think he's the perfect Penguin. So why not put him in that P role instead of the Riddler? And even then, Riddler, that's an interesting choice too. If he's the Riddler, we're going to get a Riddler we've never seen before, or even a comic book villain, because that's something very different as Jonah Hill Riddler. So those are kind of my thoughts.
No, for sure. I probably shouldn't have started off with just like his physical attributes, because that was probably pretty shallow of me. Shallow Hal over here. But yeah, like just his level, his level of like for me, looking at a villain role for Jonah Hill, I picture like a sort of like weirdness to him, and I feel like the weirdness, in a good way, of course, would align more with the Penguin route for me. And I'm not saying that he couldn't do the Riddler, but for me, it's just easier to see him as a Penguin. As a Penguin. Jeez, I'm just making myself laugh over here.
See him as a Penguin. That's so good. I love that.
Thank
March
you, Taylor.
of the Penguins 2, starring Jonah Hill.
Yeah, so
I'm here.
I feel like just for whatever reason, just his, you throw in the look in there, you throw in just his weird like humor that you've seen from like something like War Dogs, where he's just kind of like on the edge of being like a fucking psychopath, but like not quite, but
A loose cannon.
A loose
Could
cannon.
be,
That's a better term.
He's also like quiet when he needs to be, and he's deceiving. So, which to me is Penguin.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I feel like he'd just be a really like, not necessarily fun, but just a really interesting cobblepot from like things that we've seen in the past. And definitely different from Danny DeVito.
I'll ask you this because I feel maybe our third counterpart might feel this way. Are you bummed if he gets cast as the Riddler?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like he's such a talented actor, and I remember like when I first, I don't know what movie, it was probably like Superbad or something. That's just, I don't know. I feel like that might have been the first thing I saw him in, and I just always saw him as like a really like comedic actor and like kind of playing like that character of just kind of goofy or whatever. But I forget what movie it was. But
Moneyball out there.
I think it was Moneyball actually, where it just totally changed my the gear on that, my view of what that actor is. Like he's just so talented, and he's able to do the super slimy like character like Wolf of Wall Street, as well as like a serious type role in Moneyball. And
the other role I'd shout out to watch if he's playing Riddler and he does the more creepy aspect is go watch Maniac on Netflix.
I've yet
with
to
Emma
see
Stone.
that.
Yeah, that is when, if I hadn't seen that, I'd still think, oh, he could make a good Riddler. After Maniac, I went, he could make a great Riddler.
Okay,
and that's why I think people that doubt him, he's nominated for awards, Oscars, and it could go wrong. I've been on that camp before where I went, Ledger's going to be not a good Joker, and he's the greatest performance all time. But then I've also done, Heisenberg's not a good choice. And guess what? He was not a good choice for Lex Luthor. So I'm just at the point now where I sit back and I go, whatever Matt Reeves, who I believe is a talented director, he believes whether it's Penguin or Riddler, Jonah Hill's perfect for this part, I'm going to trust him until I see it. Once we see it, I go, that didn't work out. Same thing as Nicholas Hoult. I didn't want him as Batman, but if he got cast, I went, well, there's some reason why the director believes he's the right choice. And if it's someone like Matt Reeves, who I like those 8 films a lot, let me in, he's a very talented director. If it was someone, like Zack Snyder, who does do good casting, but when he did, I go, I don't know. And that's where Lex Luthor proved that off. But then he did Affleck, he did Cavill, he did Wonder Woman, so you never know. So that's why I think for me, there's backup, almost not as much as the Feige thing like we were talking about earlier, but there's a resume to show that no matter what he is in this movie, he'd be good at that role, unless he's Catwoman, which would be a strange.
I got 2 questions for you. First one, is it like set in stone that he's either Riddler or Penguin?
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I don't think he's anything else because those are the rumors, and I don't know if it's him deciding. I don't know if it's Warner Brothers. I don't know if it's because in my mind, the movie they keep saying it's like a detective tale. I feel like Riddler is the meteor role then if it's a detective tale with riddles. So I feel like Penguin could be like a villain B character, like a mobster or something like that. So that's why maybe him as an actor, they might be like, we'd really like you for Penguin, but he's like, yeah, but I'd kind of like that like meteor Riddler role.
Right.
I don't, and this is me speculating. That's none of the rumors. They just said they haven't decided. So I don't know. If I had to guess, I still think I'm gonna go Penguin just because I just think it fits, and there's just something if I have a gun to my head, same thing. I think they'll go with Penguin, but those so far have been the only rumored choices right now.
Okay. Going to my second question. Is this going to be like the big villain or the only villain or side villain? Or?
I think they're all, other than maybe Riddler, who could be the main villain. I think they're all going to be kind of side-ish villains, almost like more screen time. But you think about the Black Order in Infinity War, definitely more screen time. But there's rumors of him, Riddler, Catwoman, Firefly. We've even heard like Mad Hatter thrown out there.
Oh, okay.
So because they've said it might be like Long Halloween, so I think there'll be a bunch of villains in there, but they're all variation from the amount of screen time they're in. But I could see Penguin being the main mobster who deals with crimes. Maybe he's running city in this Batman, right? So that maybe he's one of the first guys Batman really has to take down, or he's been working. Maybe for his first 2 years, he's been slowly chipping away at Cobblepot's like industries, and this is the movie where he takes him down. But maybe Cobblepot needs some help, and he goes to Riddler and like, hey, I get this back guy off me and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's the thing. You could go many routes because that's the thing. I know lots of people might be tired of Batman, but Batman is exactly like Star Wars. When we talk about the Old Republic, there's so many storylines, characters, and story arcs that have not been touched upon in the movies yet, and it's ridiculous. The character's been around for 80 years. There's so much to touch. So that's why, like, for me, I know you're going to talk about it, Taylor. Jim Carrey's Riddler is awful. It's fun. I like it, but when you think of it as the Riddler, it is not the Riddler whatsoever. And that's what people think the Riddler is. He's not. He is a cold, calculating, like a Jigsaw type. Like, he can be a little goofy, but he's not running around saying joygasm, and he's not playing baseball in the Batcave. That's not him.
To be fair, I kind of just like had that as my Riddler before I hit like the Arkham games.
Yeah, you gotta play those. Those are a lot closer to the animated series. Yeah, he's still fun and like flamboyant sometimes, and he makes puns, but he's not to the. Jim Carrey just took it to the nth degree. So, Taylor, what do you feel about this Jonah Hill casting?
I think he would be.
The other thing I'll show that they're in talks, so there's a chance he could end up not playing either. Like they could fall through, but let's say it does happen.
I would like to see him as Penguin, obviously, and I just feel like I could see him playing that kind of mob role, like that crime boss leader. I think he just would fit that. He could have like his little lunchbox where he's got tons of like photos he's drawn of like icebergs and penguins.
This
and
guy.
I was wondering where you're going. I'm like lunchbox. What version of Penguin would he have seen that had a lunchbox?
I only know this because we were talking about it on The Watchmen.
Patreon.com.
But I think he would fit that role. I feel like the crime boss kind of thing. Like, I played like the Arkham games, so I definitely see like I understand like that version of Riddler you guys are talking about, and I can't really imagine Jonah Hill in that kind of a serious, dark kind of role. I mean, I have to obviously see, like you recommended, like Maniac, so I'd have to see like some roles where he's kind of like portraying that kind of vibe. But like, I don't know. I see people like the fan cast that people go to is like David Tennant or something like that, and I'm like, I could see that. I'd be okay with something like that.
That is like the Feige stories. That's very like stunt casting. Like get a slender guy who looks a little nerdy, and that's like that's why I want McAvoy, because he'd be a hot Riddler, like
a hot Riddler.
That was my fan cast. So I was very mad. Someone made a fake article that says like McAvoy is the Riddler. Then you clicked on the link, it just took you to Jonah Hill as the Riddler link. I was like, what type of troll is this? You just pissed me off. You got me. That's
like a modern day Rick Roll or something.
Yeah.
You click on something expecting it to be something
It
else.
was the same day this all was happening. I'm like, oh my god, it's happening. My two fan I win that fan cast. If Jonah Hill's the Penguin and McAvoy's the Riddler, I fucking win that fan cast. I don't care what fans voted, but no, it was a Rick rolled. And Jonah Hill as Riddler. Oh yeah, you were talking about that. But at first you seemed pretty opposed to it in the chat. You're like, no,
yeah,
I don't want it.
I just I
No
Get
white
that,
guys.
Get that on my face. No white guys.
I'm definitely no white guys. Yeah. I have to just
There's a
play
porn
on it.
category
A what?
that.
A porn category?
Yeah.
No white guys.
No white guys. So, yeah.
Interesting.
You got him speechless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got him.
I have been thinking this Halloween I'd love to dress up as the Riddler, but it's definitely I'm doing
I thought you were tying that into the porn thing.
Yeah. Why don't you just
no
wait?
white guys.
You should obviously wait till 2021 when the movie comes out, and it's very popular then.
Yeah, I alternate. Like this year I get to pick. The next year my significant other picks. The next year is 20. So
Yeah,
20.
perfect.
Oh,
So
I get
20
to pick.
There you go.
Oh,
Save
yeah.
it. Save
I'll
it.
save it. I'll save
Yeah.
it.
It's Jonah Hill, and he's like a huge fat Riddler, and you're like, oh, I got.
I'll beef up.
Yeah.
Or I'll bulk up.
Okay.
I'll look like a penguin as
Anything else on that casting?
No.